The Olmec Civilization was rocking ancient Mexico from around 1200 BCE to 400 BCE. These guys were the first big shots in Mesoamerica, known for their huge stone statues, sacred complexes, epic ball games, and their love of chocolate. Yep, the Olmecs were among the first to enjoy a good chocolate drink, way before it became a global obsession. Based in the Gulf of Mexico, the Olmecs spread their influence and traded all the way down to what's now Nicaragua. Sadly, many of their sites were deliberately wrecked between 400 and 300 BCE. The Olmec Civilization is a bit of a mystery. So much so that we don't even know what they called themselves. Olmec is actually their Aztec nickname, which means rubber people. Sounds like they were really into their bouncy balls. But the truth is, early modern explorers and archaeologists mistakenly applied the name Olmec to the rediscovered ruins and artifacts in the heartland, decades before it was understood that these were not created by the people the Aztecs knew as the Olmec, but rather a culture that was 2,000 years older. Despite the mistaken identity, the name has stuck. It is not known what name the ancient Olmec used for themselves. A contemporary term sometimes used for the Olmec culture is Tenosilome, meaning mouth of the jaguar. We don't have all the details about where they came from or where exactly they lived, thanks to the lack of archaeological evidence, but we do know they were pretty into their gods and religion. They recorded their divine preferences with symbols, which are still debated today. Let's just say their religion had a lot going on. Priests, sacrifices, cave ceremonies, pilgrimages, offerings, ball games, pyramids, and a serious love for mirrors. And guess what? They set the stage for all the Mesoamerican civilizations that came after them. Even the Spanish conquest in the 16th century CE couldn't erase their impact. The Olmecs were ancient agriculture pros. They thrived by making the most of the fertile, well-watered Gulf of Mexico region, growing crops like corn and beans, sometimes even harvesting twice a year. They also enjoyed a variety of local foods like palm nuts and seafood, including turtles and clams. By around 1200 BCE, they had set up impressive urban centers at San Lorenzo, La Venta, Laguna de los Cerros, Tres Zapotes, and Las Limas. San Lorenzo was the top player, flourishing between 1200 and 900 BCE. Its strategic location helped it stay safe from floods and become the hub of local trade. The Olmecs traded some pretty fantastic items: obsidian, jade, serpentine, mica, rubber, pottery, feathers, and polished mirrors made from ilmenite and magnetite. They clearly knew how to pick and trade the best stuff. San Lorenzo was quite the cultural hotspot with its impressive features. They had mounds, maybe an early ball court, carved basalt drains running through man-made hills, and the Red Palace with its snazzy red-painted floors and workshops. But around 900 BCE, things took a turn for the worse at San Lorenzo. It got systematically trashed. Meanwhile, La Venta was on the rise, becoming the new Olmec capital with a bustling population of about 18,000. Both San Lorenzo and La Venta had a knack for symmetry in their layout. At La Venta, they even built the first pyramid in Mesoamerica. Their architectural layout was impressive. Buildings were lined up along a north-south axis, with 4 giant heads watching over the place like ancient security guards. La Venta also boasted a massive ceremonial step pyramid, which is now more of a shapeless mound, a sunken plaza once surrounded by towering basalt columns and 2 smaller pyramid mounds. All these features became popular blueprints for later Mesoamerican cultures, who also paid close attention to the alignment of their buildings. Like San Lorenzo, La Venta also faced systematic and deliberate destruction of its monuments between 400 and 300 BCE. When it comes to Olmec religion, details are a bit of a puzzle. But from what we know, they had a thing for natural places that linked the sky, earth, and underworld. For examples, caves and mountains. Caves led to the underworld, while mountains with springs and caves were like having an all-access pass to the sky, earth, and underworld. Important mountain sites included El Manatí, Chalcatzingo, and Oxtotitlan. Olmec gods are mostly a mystery too, except they often represented rain, earth, and maize. They adored powerful animals like jaguars, eagles, caimans, snakes, and even sharks, and may have thought that powerful rulers could turn into these fierce creatures. They also created bizarre hybrids like the were-jaguar, a mix of human and jaguar. They worshipped an earth dragon and believed that 4 dwarves supported the sky, possibly symbolizing the cardinal directions. The Olmecs are best known for their colossal stone heads, which could be nearly 10 feet tall and weigh up to 8 tons. These heads were probably portraits of rulers and were carved from basalt, sometimes transported from over 50 miles away on huge balsa rafts. The heads often sported helmets and jaguar paw motifs, symbolizing power. The Mesoamerican belief that the head held the soul might explain why they focused on sculpting just the head. The Olmecs were renowned for their skill in working with jade, ceramics, and even wood to create intricate sculptures. Surprisingly, some wooden pieces have survived the test of time, thanks to the waterlogged conditions of El Manatí's bogs, which preserved them remarkably well. Among their most famous jade carvings is the Kun's axe, a depiction of a were-jaguar, a mythical creature combining human and jaguar traits. This extraordinary artifact was meticulously crafted using jade tools and polished with a jade abrasive, showcasing the Olmecs' advanced techniques. Interestingly, the Olmecs had a unique practice of burying many of their sculptures, possibly as part of ceremonial or ritualistic traditions. This practice adds another layer of mystery to their fascinating culture and artistic legacy. The Olmecs had a lasting influence across Mesoamerica. Their art, especially in ceramics and jade, and their deities like the sky dragon and feathered snake, inspired later cultures. For instance, the snake god evolved into Kukulkan for the Maya and Quetzalcoatl for the Aztecs. The Olmecs set the stage for future Mesoamerican civilizations with their precise ceremonial layouts, monumental pyramids, and ball courts. So, next time you see a giant stone head, just remember it's a big old thank you note from the Olmecs to the cultures that followed.